Isshiki Suitsuki vs Cosmic Fear Garou. Who wins? Both kicks are at the pinnacle of power in their own respective verses and are really a report up against each other, which is why I think this is an interesting matchup. Starting with Cosmic Fear Garou. So Garou's scaling will mainly come from his fight against Saitama because that's where he performed his most impressive feats. Over the course of their fight, Saitama eventually clashed with Garou and they both made a massive explosion, or I should say a hole in space. And this hole in space was roughly calculated to be around multi-solar system level. So Garou showed skill to multi-solar and not for his speed. Garou in his fight against Platinum Sperm, both are moving incredibly fast and it was roughly calculated to be around a few times FTL. But you could scale him much higher into the MFTL ranges. Not for Isshiki, so Isshiki scales above characters like Naruto who scale above characters like Kaguya. Kaguya created a dimension which contains stars and even moons. And she later said she was going to destroy her entire time space, which includes the stars and the moons and all the vast space between the whole dimension. So this should put her at least large star level. And Naruto and Sasuke greatly surpassed Kaguya. It was even stated that Sasuke can handle Kaguya level threats by himself. And Jigen, who is a vessel for Isshiki, meaning he can't access his true power, beat them basically with no difficulty. So Isshiki in his actual form should be into the solar system ranges of AP. For Isshiki's speed, he should be much faster than pre-Baryon mode Naruto, and Naruto in Shippuden was moving at FT level speeds, and over time he just got way faster. So Isshiki should be in the ranges of 5 to 10 times FTL pretty comfortably. And something I forgot to mention is Isshiki in his actual form only had 3 days to live, meaning he potentially could have been way stronger. Anyway, with the scaling out of the way, and they do scale pretty similar in terms of speed and AP, not for their abilities. So Isshiki's abilities revolve around shrinking objects which are non-living of course, and he can also shrink himself and summon rods and massive giant cubes to crush opponents. Garou's abilities mainly revolve around his martial arts, but besides that he can create gamma ray bursts, he can also make black holes, and he also has power mimicry so he can copy your abilities. So with all this in mind, who would actually win in a one-on-one fight? Well, I'm gonna give it to Garou, and here's why. Garou has access to all the energy in the universe, which is why he can make gamma ray bursts. And gamma ray bursts are extremely hot and radioactive, so that can pose a massive threat to Isshiki. He can also copy Isshiki's abilities if he really wanted to or needed to, and I don't think he does because he can likely just end the fight within a few punches. Because Garou has access to all the energy in the universe, so if he wanted to, he could just spam gamma ray bursts and just like spam punch him, and I'm pretty sure he's like a little bit faster as well. So if they fought 10 times, I would say Garou wins 9 times and potentially even 10 times. And the only way Isshiki maybe can win is if he shrinks himself to a level where Garou can't even see him and spams rods. And Isshiki's rods do drain energy, and while he's getting weakened, Isshiki can just seal him, and that's the only way I think he can win. And the more you sort of resist to the seal, the smaller it gets, meaning it could eventually potentially even kill you. But that's assuming Garou just doesn't instantly blitz him and one-tap him. So in conclusion, Garou does win.